whatever reason, the league window moves itself down. An excellent Hearthstone hand to start off the night. I don't really think it's appropriate to compare this list to Jund. I think it'd be more appropriate to compare this list to like a bigger burn deck as opposed to a more aggressive Jund deck, which might be semantics. I don't know. When I look at a deck full of like Tribal Flames or Lightning Bolts, I definitely want to compare it to more aggressive decks as opposed to more controlling decks. This is a keep. I'm gonna bottom that. We are on the draw, so that's nice. We mulligan like this. Cuzco. Is that Cuzco? I don't know. There's just a lot of sweet things we can be doing right now. Perfect. That's another fetch land. All right, so... And this is a hand that it's going to look like that makes me question, like, why aren't there Death Shadows in this deck? Because, like, I definitely need to Lava Axe myself here, right? That's the wrong color mana to Lava Axe myself. Hopefully they only have one payoff here. We do have K Command, which is nice. I think I'm just taking the Steel Overseer here. The rest of their hand really doesn't do a whole lot. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played any games with it, so it might be more comparable. Again, like, I don't like to make sweeping generalizations about the things we're playing until I have some experience playing them a little bit. That's interesting. Do they draw something? Because yeah, they must have drawn something. They hit an Edge Champion. God, that's a tilt. So they have a Galv Blast. I think I'm just playing this and then playing this and passing the turn. I don't feel like I can afford to fetch Shock this turn. Your badge of protection is back. Thanks for the resub, Justin. She was here for the first time yesterday and things went well. Things went well. She's supposed to be coming back tomorrow. Chat. Oh, we took a break from this morning. We were supposed to run better tonight, chat. We were supposed to run better. We weren't supposed to have Etched Champion into cranial plating after the Thoughtseize. Howdy, Curtia. A donation there. Can you build and play an ad nauseum deck in Modern so I know what I need to do from IQ at the end of the month? Building a sideboard is very difficult for me at the moment. Thanks, Jeff. Yeah, I can put ad nauseum in there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to think about that before tomorrow, but probably, did you say before the weekend? End of the month. Oh, we'll definitely get to it before, probably this weekend we'll get to it. I'm gonna add that in, fetch a Sacred Foundry here. So we're taking 8 on this attack down to 6. So like if we hit a land here, maybe this command can, now they're at 20. We're pretty dead, right? All right, we're only taking 7. I think we're still pretty dead. All right, missing a land means we're actually just dead. A pretty good pair of runners there. All right, we got some grudges, we got some extra souls, we got a Stony Silence. Love Rakdos Charm right now. This card's great, just like Shatter, Artifact Hate, just like super flexible card. Thoughtseize is pretty mediocre here. The Red White Prison video was a good time. It was definitely a hoot. I think I've settled on a legacy deck. Atarka's Command I could take or leave. Maybe we're more controlling, so I don't want these Swiftspears. Atarka's Command is nice because it can let us jump up and block our opponent's stuff. Added 3, 6, 18 plus 28. I'm playing whatever Matthew hands me. Matthew is finding me magic cards and then he's handing it to me. So I think the Young Pyromancer's fine. We have a lot of removal in the deck. Maybe the Fulminators are better than these Atarka's commands. Like, I'm not super excited about this card. I'd buy that for $1. Like, neither of these cards are fantastic. Just like any of these cards in the middle were a second land, this hand would be a snap keep. It's just been one of those weeks. I wanted to say it's been one of those days, but like we've been getting beat up all week here. All right, well, we're definitely keeping that, right? So because they're on the play, I think no play till turn 3 is probably fine. The mono red sneak attack deck does not have a good Grixis Delver matchup. In case you're wondering, that's the reason why not that deck. Grixis, the mono red sneak attack deck has a, like every combo deck in the format, the mono red sneak attack deck has a bad Grixis Delver matchup. Something, I think maybe Lee went in and blacklisted my account. I shat on the MTGO championship too much on Twitter this weekend, so they went in and blacklisted my Moto account. All right, what lands are we fetching here? This is probably gonna be basic forest, I think. Their hand's pretty bad. That's good for us. We've got that going on. So this probably wants to be white plus something else. I don't really need double black. Double red is probably fine, so Sacred Foundry here. The Bolt's a good pickup. I'll go ahead and pass here. That's not true, Justin. That deck has a bad Delver matchup. If that deck had a good Delver matchup, I'd actually be considering it for the... I would have considered it more. But it does not have a good Delver matchup. Okay, I'm just gonna Shatter Shock here. So destroy Shock, just get these out of here. If they like rip a Cranial Plating immediately, I'll be sad, but I think I'm just supposed to spend my mana here. Where does the name Domain Zoo come from? So Tribal Flames has a mechanic called Domain. If Delver is built right, it just literally doesn't have bad matchups. Delver can beat any deck it wants to beat in Legacy right now. It is obnoxious and oppressive. Land is fantastic. I even get to preserve my health total again here by fetching a basic swamp. I don't really think I need that fifth. I don't think dealing 1 point of damage to myself is worth getting or dealing 2 to myself is worth getting 1 extra point on Tribal Flames. So I'm just gonna fetch a basic here. Bloodbraid says, ooh, that feels good. That feels good. Getcha. I think if they want to trade these for my elf, I'm okay with that. If they want to trade these for my elf, I'm okay with that. Yep. Yeah, you take your 3, opponent. Just take it. Yeah. All right. These Tribal Flames might be shooting down Vault Scourges. These Tribal Flames might be shooting down... Oh, yeah. Definitely shooting down Vault Scourges. Wonder if this deck is like a good version of what Burgle tried to build the other day. BBE shushing like a pro librarian. I think a big part of it's Deathrite Shaman. So Deathrite Shaman removes one of the best accesses you could attack on. You could attack Delver decks on. Like, traditionally speaking, decks like Maverick and Death and Taxes were able to prey on Delver because they were able to attack its greedy, susceptible mana base. And Deathrite Shaman being a way to fight back against that mana denial strategy gives them a lot of legs that they wouldn't otherwise have. They also get to make like Knight of the Reliquary much worse by hitting lands out of the discard pile. I think if you're playing Grixis Delver, you should stop being a greedy piece of poop and you should play 19 lands and you should play 3 Volks and 3 Underground Seas. That's what I've been playing for a while. That's what Jarvis, you recommended doing, and I think the people not playing 19 lands in their Grixis Delver deck are silly. Grixis Delver wins most of the games it just gets to play Magic, so play enough lands in your deck to guarantee you get to play Magic the most amount of the time. I think a lot of the games you lose involve getting legacied, as we call it here. We're just like, you know, you get wastelanded out. So, God, we're just super dead to that, huh? Just like have to kill all these stupid ornithopters. I just can't. Man, that feels bad. I guess I could like path and like bridge into I could like path plus tribal flames here, but they're probably gonna be able to put more creatures into play this turn. Just kind of like treading water. Yep. We're pretty obligated to path this turn, which sucks. Randy is Talrand. And we were playing a Talrand in the sideboard of a Mono-Blue Omniscience deck that I was playing. Whoa, do they just not have anything? They must not have anything. Okay, so I think I'm just killing this as a sorcery, right? Yeah, I think I'm gonna fetch a basic mountain and tribal flames this. I wanna like save my instant speed removal for later. If they don't, the fact that they didn't have a play this turn means we're not taking a hit now, which means, you know, wow, what is, okay, sweet. That's great for us. We need to get this Tarmogoyf down. I think I'm just gonna fetch shock here, actually. Just like get this this Wild Nacatl in here as well. Grab a black-green source here. You can find my deck lists on my Stream Decker page. You can also find them from past deck lists on my YouTube videos. YouTube's all linked below. Yeah, they must just have like a bunch of other random stuff, right? Our Goyf's a 5/6, which is kind of great. Like, we're gonna close this game very quickly. Lingering Souls blocked for a while. I thought we were gonna be in a lot of trouble after their first turn play, but their lack of follow-up is good for us. I assume this is getting Galv blasted? No, really? Huh. Your opponent getting... No, not really. I mean, my opponent just, like, kept kind of an anemic hand, right? They didn't even have a second land in it, and they didn't have a Galvanic Blast for this Wild Nacatl, so I'm really kind of at a loss for, like, what they could have in their hand. Do they just have, like, more Spire of Industries and Darksteel Citadels? But, like, they also missed a land drop on 2, so that can't possibly be the case. I genuinely just have no idea what's in their hand. Not a clue. I would love to trade a Spirit Token for your Signal Pest. Please, please allow that to be a trade I can make. They need like an Edge Champion or a Blood Moon here to get into this game. Alright, I'm gonna start by slamming with these two, and then I probably just want to play a second Tarmogoyf out here, right? Probably just want to play a second Tarmogoyf. Please trade for my Wild Nacatl. Please trade for my Wild Nacatl. There's like no way they're winning this game if their line is... Okay, so they have the Galv Blast, but they're just like trading Thopter plus Blast for my... Sure. Yeah, that's great for me. That seems very good for us. And then, okay, so they do just have a bunch of Galv Blasts in their hand. It's really strange to me that they didn't play a Blast on the Nacatl last turn. They're down to 1 card in hand, and we've got 2 paths, Pyromancer, Lingering Soul. So sans Etch Champion. I hate everything about everything. It does not look like you currently have a sub-icon, F-Gator. You currently have a bit icon. Sweet, sweet. One good rip deserves another here. Yeah, I'm just gonna deal target player discards, destroy an artifact. The last card must be reasonable, right? Hopefully. Maybe I'm supposed to get my Goyf back here. They just had a Mox Opal. Yeah, maybe I was just supposed to get my Goyf back there. So the fact that we took the plating off means we can race this Etch Champion now, which is nice. Dang it, Bobby. Dang it. Am I just flashing this back? I think I am. I'm not attacking because this is protection from colors. We were in a great spot, but they ran off back-to-back edge champions here. It's a good conservative attack from the opponent. I think makes sense. I think they're winning. Oh, they're not really winning the race. I guess they're assuming this Blink Moth is going to do something. They don't know that I have a path. Plus path the Goyf? I don't think we need mana that badly. That seems silly. Okay, before blocks, let's get you out of there. This puts them to 7. Well, I mean, the spirit tokens are going wide in the air. Like, going wide on the ground is kind of whatever, because they have 2 edge champions. Like, the spirit tokens are attacking faster in the air. Yeah, the Lingering Souls is more damage output quicker. Yeah, they're just super dead at this point. Like, they need they're like Whip Flare or Bust at this point, basically. I should stop talking about cards that let them get back into the game, because every time I've mentioned a card that lets them get back into the game, they've untapped and drawn that card. You do have a sub icon back again. No, stop it. For fuck's sake. Are you kidding me? I think we're still ahead. I think we're still ahead. I shouldn't have tweeted negative things about the Magic Online Championship. I shouldn't have tweeted negative things about the Magic Online Championship. This is my punishment. All right. You're saying there's a chance. I'm just gonna bolt them now so I can't get spell pierced. Let's just get this out of the way. Your move. Your move. Die! God bless us, everyone. Oh, F Gators with the salty bits. Thank you very much. I just didn't talk about the cards that my opponent could have because I didn't want them to draw it this time. This time I just wanted them to brick, so I just kept my mouth shut, and then they bricked. I don't think I can keep this hand in the dark, right? What do we... I feel like this is a mulligan, chat. We're on the draw. Opponent went to 6. I'm more inclined to keep a medium hand if they go to 6, because it is functional. It's just slow. If they're playing Jund or there's a Celestial Colony in their deck, this hand is quite excellent. I think I'm talking myself into it, chat. I think I'm talking myself into it. I have 2 triggers on Young Pyromancer right here. These are 2 triggers on Young Pyromancer right here. You just, ye of little faith, no Pyromancer triggers. Come on now. Come on now. Please be grindy. Please be grindy. Please be grindy. Please be grindy. Oh no, we're gonna get burned to the ground. Tilt. What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more. I agree. I think our 6 is a higher chance of... Yeah, I don't actually think our deck has the tools to beat burn, right? They're missing their second land. That's good for us. It's like mixed. I always have mixed feelings when the burn opponent misses their second land drop, right? Because like on one side of the table, they're only playing 1 spell per turn, right? On the other side of the table, they have 5 spells in their hand. On the other side is just Thoughtseize. That's perfect. That's exactly what we need to beat Burn. Their draw is definitely on the poorer side. Their draw is certainly on the poorer side. Yeah! I just cast a Healing Salve. Healing Salve resolves. Oh no. Oh no! Oh good, they don't have an Eidolon? That's great for me. Don't have an Eidolon? That's so good for me. Alright, cast. This is a gain 2. That's probably a gain 1 if we're being serious, but... Oh no! Oh, it is very much a gain 2. Alright, yep, that's certainly. That is a hand full of reasonable and beatable Magic the Gathering cards. Certainly have a chance. I certainly have a chance. If we lose this game, I'm conceding the match. Just to set expectations. I feel like this is the matchup that this deck has chosen to just punt. I think we just really don't have tools to win. Watery Grave. Probably want a white source. Godless Shrine. Sacred Foundry is the one I want. Grab a mountain with this, and then spin these BBEs. Oh, I should have bolted them. Yeah, I definitely 10 out of 10 should have bolted them. Alright. Alright. So you're saying there's a chance. And by that I mean we need them to draw lands, which means their Searing Blaze gets turned on. We're not playing Jund. Traditional Jund does play Scavenging Ooze. We are not playing traditional Jund. We are playing a Domain Zoo deck. Like Tribal Flame Zoo. You are correct in the assessment though that Jund usually plays that card. Are they dead? Is this 5, 8, 12? They're actually just dead, right? Oh, you know what? I should have let these hit first, right? They could bolt this now. Alright. Alright. Like I said, if we didn't win that one, we were conceding because we don't have the tools, really. But if we stole that one, maybe we could steal another. Am I supposed to bring in Countersquall? Am I supposed to bring in Countersquall? I don't actually know. Feels like a no in my book. Feels like a no. Feel like I just want to beat them down. Yeah, I think Matt's right. It's only good for combo decks and like Tron. I'm going to bring in Fulminator Mage because sometimes you can steal games with Fulminator Mage in this matchup. Yep. And has basic Mountain Bolt your first play. Squall doesn't necessarily save us points of health though. Remember our deck, we're playing a base like Jund splash white deck, so like the cost of getting a blue source is gonna cost us health most games. I'm actually gonna lead on my own Swiftspear here and just try and start fighting back. This feels a little bit bad if they have Searing Blaze, but outside of Searing Blaze, I think this is okay. And like if they have an Eidolon on 2, I'd much rather bolt an Eidolon than a Swiftspear, right? We played a different deck list yesterday. It was the same core idea, but it was definitely a similar deck list. So it was also a Domain Zoo deck, but slightly different than this one. Interesting. I feel like if they use a Boros Charm to save this, I'm okay with that. I guess they could have Atarka's command of their own here, right? If they Atarka's command me, I'm gonna be really sad. Oh, I guess they could double bolt me. If they have like bolt bolts here, I'm gonna be really sad. Please die, please die, please die, please die. God bless. All right. That could have gone worse for us. Yeah, I feel like that was loose on their part and they should have bolted my thing on their turn and just like hit us for an extra one, right? Feels like they missed a point there. So this, let's think about our mana. I definitely want to get green. I probably want to get green-black at this point, so this is going to fetch Overgrown Tomb. Though I don't have a basic plains, but this can't get... I think this is just getting green-black. I don't really have any white spells in my deck right now, like just Path. Yeah, I cut the Lingering Souls. And then I'm going to go ahead and crack this for a green basic forest, and then I can cast this Fulminator Mage. We have Fulminator Mages in our deck right now because occasionally burn keeps really land light hands and you can cut them off of colors or just Plague Magic altogether with Fulminator Mage. Opponent has 3 lands this game, so Fulminator Mage is just going to be a Grey Ogre for us, but there's definitely games where it can steal. Or Fulminator Mage can steal games for us. A Stomping Ground is probably their only green source, but I actually, now that they fetched, I'm going to take them off their white source here. Usually these decks play green just for Destructive Revelry in the sideboard. My opponent didn't fetch the Stomping Ground, they just had it in their opener. This is why I have Fulminator Mage in my deck. Because Kolaghan's command is a card now. Ponza mode engage. Ponza mode engage. Hopefully they don't draw out of it. We do still need a clock, right? Like we are flooding a little bit here. I mean, yep. I guess I'm gonna start casting these, right? Probably just cast like 2 of them this turn. Probably 1. Just gonna cast 1 of them. 3 damage. I'm gonna fetch a Godless Shrine with one of these just in case I draw a path. The difference between 3 and 4 is pretty much the same. Looking for any threat. I guess we're only... I guess we're a Tribal Flames on a Atarka's commander a bolt away from killing them next turn, right? This is actually a tough decision. Do I bolt this Swiftspear? No, I think I'm just supposed to go upstairs, right? And just, like, plan to draw one of my outs to kill them. Like, Bloodbraid Elf is also lethal. So yeah, so I think I'm just... Yeah, I think I'm just taking these. Yeah, I think the play to win line is just like hope to draw a burn spell next turn. So within my deck here. That's really unfortunate for us. I think that's correct. Regardless of what we draw there, I think it's correct to try and kill them. We have a lot of draws that could kill them here. I'm gonna go to 1 here because again, any spell kills us. So like in 1 and 2 are basically the same. That's so tilting. I guess we're technically not dead, right? I can kill this and they could continue bricking, and then we could draw a Bloodbraid Elf for a Tribal Flames next turn. What a weird game of Magic. Alright, one more brick. Hopefully we hit a live one. I mean, yup. Come on. Come on. What an awkward game of Magic the Gathering. No! What a tilt. God, it was right there. All of the next cards were lethal. All right, let's play a game on the play. Let's take a game on the play here. Is anyone doubting the Fulminator Mages yet? Is anyone doubting the Fulminator Mages yet? That's why we have Fulminator Mages in our deck. Searing Blades targets the player and the creature for people that don't know how Magic the Gathering works. I didn't make the player suggesting because I understand how Magic the Gathering works. Pathing my Pyromancer is a legal play. I will still die to the Searing Blaze. I think this hand's a mulligan. This is basically a colorless land that deals 2 damage to me. I don't have any red sources for the rest of this. This is just a 2/2. Ugh, God, this fucking Watery Grave, man. This Watery Grave. It doesn't really matter what I do with this. I'm pitching it away. What's this getting? It's getting red something. It can't get Stomping Ground. It really wants to get Stomping Ground, but that's not an option. I guess it's getting Sacred Foundry. Mage gave us a lot of draws that last game to actually win the game. I don't feel like I can path their thing here. Thanks for the bit, Zach. Welcome to everyone that's hanging out here tonight, playing a couple modern leagues. 2 pretty close games against Burn here. Up a little bit short. The Searing Blaze, Searing Blood. So this one, if you path your creature in response to this one, you don't take damage, because this one requires the creature to die in order to deal damage to the controller. It doesn't target the controller. All right, I guess I'm just doing this and then hitting them for 2. We're in a pretty terrible spot here. They're still at 15. Yeah, the lack of Collective Brutalities and Lightning Helixes in this list definitely just like, it feels like we just don't have the tools to win this matchup. I think we got pretty fortunate to be as far into those other games as we were. We're 1-1. We're 1-1. Almost won a matchup that's almost certainly hard for us, so we'll see how the rest of it goes. This definitely feels, to set the bar low, this feels more smooth than the other Pyromancer deck we played the other day. It also feels better than the Zulus we played the other day. The Zulus we played the other day both those decks felt really exceedingly clunky. This is kind of like an amalgamation of the two that feels like kind of reasonable so far. I mean, I literally just sat there and talked about how bad the matchup was for like the last 5 minutes. So yeah, probably. The matchup I just talked about being bad for the last 5 minutes is probably bad. I probably don't think it's good. It's not exciting, but it's fine. Yeah, Bolt's a keeper. I think Yeah, I think so, Shredder. I think the lack of Death Shadow in this deck is silly. I think like no, I said I was gonna concede the match if I lost the game. All right. I don't quite know what we're playing against here. Well, this is a 5-color deck, Ventress. This is a 5-color deck. It's not a 4-color deck, so we probably need. I'm actually not sure that we need 2 blue shocks. 2 blue shocks might be overkill, but I definitely think that we probably need more shocks than a 4-color list because we're playing more colors than that. Yeah, we died in the third game. Bitter Blossom. Okay. I think I'm just bolting them and getting aggressive here, like make my Goyf bigger, smack you for 2. I think Ad Nauseam is worth playing. I don't know. I've never played Ad Nauseam before. Are they mono black fairies or are they blue black and missing a color? A pretty good pickup. I'll grab a basic forest here and spin the wheel. What card would we cut if I were to play Death Shadow? I need to think about it a little bit more, but my gut says probably the 2 Monastery Swiftspears and then something else. Yeah, I actually had someone send a donation earlier this evening to play Ad Nauseam, so we're probably going to do that sometime soon. It seems okay for us. Like, they're slowly dying to this, and now my Tarmogoyf got a little bit bigger. I can actually K-command back my Bloodbraid Elf, which is quite excellent, right? They are, in fact, blue-black fairies. Do I want to Thoughtseize here? Yeah, I think I do, right? This will probably get Spellstutter sprited, but that's okay. I'm putting a sorcery into my discard pile, which makes my Tarmogoyf larger. I've not played Glittering Wish ad nauseum, but I've seen the deck list. It seems sweet. Alright, so I'm going to do this now while my opponent doesn't have blue mana up. I'm going to... So, this game is not about card advantage. It's about burning my opponent out. So I'm going to return this Bloodbraid Elf and then shock them. This is not the only deck for tonight. I think we're going to play some Death Shadow Jund after this. Traverse Jund Chateau. That attack's a little aggressive. I wonder if they have a Mistbind Clique. If they're 4 lands up now. That attack feels aggressive if they're not time walking us this turn. I have all my colors, so I'm going to grab a blue source here so that way I can have a bigger Tribal Flames. Yeah, definitely getting Mistbind Clicks. Taps all our lands. Yeah, we're actually using this race now, right? Yeah, and they're eating the Bitter Blossom, so they're really far ahead in the race. What a tilt. I guess we can do both of these next turn now, which is nice. That's unfortunate. The timing there was a little less than ideal for us. That deck list won the 400 player Modern Classic this past weekend in SCG. At the SCG Open. So yeah, basically an own entity. Do you have another click? We're just dead to another click, right? Not another click. Oh, it's a Vendilion click. Different click. So we're going to lose Bloodbraid Elf here. Hopefully they click us into Tribal Flames. Whoa, they clicked Kolaghan's command. That's interesting. Alright. This Bloodbraid Elf could be anything, even a Kolaghan's command opponent. Yep. I'm not dead on board, but they get to trade their click for my Bloodbraid. They're at 3. Project Swamp with the big bits. No one says ad nauseam and doesn't expect me to add democracy to it. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll do some ad nauseam tomorrow. I think they didn't send me a deck list. They said they wanted me to find an ad nauseam deck list, so I'm gonna find a sweet one. Maybe we'll play 2 even. That's a lot of democracy. There was a Glittering Wish ad nauseam deck list that I saw posted that I kind of wanted to kick the tires on, so I think I would like to try that one out for size. And thank you for the very generous cheer, Project Swamp. So they've tapped both their blue sources here, which means we have a number of draws that kill them now. Oh, you just need a good sideboard. You should link me what your main deck is then, if you have a main deck that you like. We might use Project Swamp Spits there to play the Glittering Wish build, because I really want to try and play Glittering Wish. How do I send a message with my resub? You usually have to refresh your browser and then it'll be at the top of the chat. Leon of the Last Hope. Okay, so they can make one of my creatures not be lethal. So they get to hit me for 4 here with the click, and then they have a Fairy Rogue to chump block. So looking for burn spells, Bloodbraid Elves for burn spells, all sorts of stuff. Path to Exile is quite lethal, right? Quite lethal. I feel like we stole this one a little bit here. I don't know. I feel like that one could have really gone either way. Not quite sure how we want to sideboard here. Lingering Souls is definitely excellent, right? Are these Thoughtseizes good? They're nice for punching through spell stutter sprites, right? Because like if they sprite this and they're not spriting something else, but I also just kind of want to be aggressive. Can I put my resub towards a Tron deck? Thank you for re-upping the Twitch Prime, Johnny Redeemed. The base level subs do not have any extra democracy or bonus towards specific deck lists as a heads up, FYI. As always, all the details on how the donation deck lists work are right there in that URL. Blue-Black Fairies has never really been competitively viable. It's one of those like tier 3 decks that people like constantly want to try in Modern, that like they desperately want it to be good, but it's never really it's never really a deck that's put up strong results or put anyone over the top. I think we want Lingering Souls. I think Lingering Souls is a card that's very good at swinging races. Like it blocks their Mistbind clicks for a pretty long time. Rakdos Charm is narrow. I think they're never going to have too many fairies. If they have enough fairies, they're going to kill us. Perfect 0 forever will do. Now, I think anytime Rakdos Charm is going to be good enough to be lethal, we're probably losing that game by a pretty significant margin. Seems not exciting, but it's definitely a keep. I'd like to scry a 2-drop or a 3-drop. I'm going to be greedy and bottom this 4th land because I'm really just looking for 2s and 3s to play. No, don't take my Lingering Souls, opponent. Rats, they saw the line. Get that, bottom the land, draw land anyways. We're so professional. So this is probably fetching Sacred Foundry. Bitter Blossom on 2. If you're gonna play Blue-Black Fairies, you should play Bitter Blossom on 2, that's for sure. No, I don't think so. It doesn't sound like it does anything big or exciting enough. It's like flipping a bunch of random coins doesn't sound great. Last Hope. Well, that makes our Lingering Souls look far less appealing. No, you do not want Bloodbraid Elf to cascade into your Court of Calling for 0. That's very, very bad. There are Bloodbraid Elf decks with Eldritch Evolution, I think. In fact, we played an Eldritch Evolution powered Kiki Court deck on stream at one point. Or sorry, Temur Kiki deck on stream at one point that felt okay, but Definitely don't want Bloodbraid Elf in your Court of Calling in your Court of Calling deck. Also, like, Blood Kiki Court is never, again, like, the question I feel like people fail to ask themselves is, like, people don't try to solve problems when they build decks. They just go, oh, this card is the colors my deck is. I should try this in my deck. And it's like, when you're making changes to established decks especially, you always want to be asking yourself the question, all right, what problem does my deck have that this card or this change I'm making solves? And if you can't answer that question, you probably shouldn't make that change to your deck. It's a real shame they had the counterspell there, because otherwise we would have killed Liliana. I think I'm just going to smash Liliana with all of these. If they want to trade their board for them, that's fine. Yep. No, I don't think so, Justin. I think that's too clunky and slow. I think that's a win condition that's just not good enough. Like, Monastery Mentor is not good enough in Modern, and, like, Monastery Mentor is, like, infinitely more powerful than Telrand. I agree that this deck could use some Death Shadows. I think between the Thoughtseizes and the Shocklands, this deck should definitely have Death Shadows in it. Maybe I'm supposed to hold up Path to Exile here. Yeah, I probably should have held up Path to Exile here. They're down to 3 cards in hand, but, like, we're also a little bit flooded here, so we don't really have a lot going on. And Mentor isn't legendary. It's clearly not the more powerful card, right? I mean, Collected Company's like a value card similar to Bloodbraid Elf with higher variance, right? Alright, we're gonna double linger here, I think. Hero's downfall. Our hero has certainly fallen. Alright, Liliana's going to 6, so we're gonna need to pressure that next turn. We might not actually be able to push through here because they get to kill one of our tokens. We're probably going to need a Bloodbraid Elf or a burn spell to keep this Liliana from ulting, which is not good for us. Yeah, that's probably going to be the death knell. I don't think we're going to be able to power through this ultimate. Yeah, I agree. I think we've drawn a little bit too many lands this game. Yeah, it's going to be... I'll pack it in there. Just mono gas. 7th land is not going to do it for us. I think I'm happy with how we sideboarded. Let's just run it back on the play. See these Path to Exiles not being stellar. Really don't want these other cards. I'm going to put one Fulminator Mage in over one of these paths. No, I think Countersquall is narrow, and it's not worth having in our deck when we can cascade into it. Do the lands in this hand work? This fetches red, white, I guess. Yeah, I guess this is fine. It's like turn 1 Nacatl, turn 2 Young PZ. We need to draw some lands to have all of our colors work, obviously, but we're really good at drawing lands last game, so maybe we can do that again this game. Probably need to crack your fetch land before you try and kill my thing, opponent. My cat's evolved into a 3/3. Alright, so it feels to me like my opponent has a piece of spot removal here. I think that means I want to lead on the Tarmogoyf. I guess if they don't have spot removal, I'd rather the Pyromancer be out. And, like, whichever of these die, it's pretty much a wash. Like, sweet. Okay, so them. Awesome. I don't know. That's what we're finding out. This is not my deck list. This is a donation deck list, so Bitter Blossom on 2-3 games in a row. Thankfully, we were on the play this game. Unfortunately, we're working on a land this turn. A little unfortunate for us. We actually have a Restore Balance deck in the donation queue already, so you can always check out what people have already donated to see here. And if there's something in that queue that you'd like to see sooner rather than later, you could always donate a couple of bucks or even the full 12 to push it all the way, push it towards the top. Things that have more points in that queue get played sooner rather than later. Do I want to just smash here? I think I do. I think I want to just start by smashing. There might have been merit to jamming the Tribal Flames here, but I think they're going to try and trade here, and then like this can resolve post-combat because they can't get Spellstutter sprayed at that point. Yeah, no problem, Russum. Hope you had a good stream. Alright, so do I want to bolt my opponent in response to this? I think I do, because if they sprite this bolt, then they can't sprite my Tarmogoyf, which is appealing. Yeah, so like this is fine. I'm getting a token out of this lightning bolt still, and my opponent's taking 5 here down to 5, and then I get to play another Tarmogoyf out, and now my Goyfs are going to be 3/4s. So what colors do I need now? So if I get blue-black, I have all 5. Yeah, that's true. Statements that are correct. If I get blue-black, I have all 5 basic land types. Nah, I mean, my opponent's at 4. I definitely want to just kill them. Definitely want to just run my opponent into the ground. Alright, well, we're 2-1 with the Domain Zoo deck. I'd just like to say welcome to everyone that's hanging out here tonight. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I hope you're having a great morning, afternoon, night, wherever you're at in the world. I stream Magic here on this channel full-time. If you're enjoying what you see, please consider subscribing on Twitch. Subscriptions are the absolute best way you can support my content here. They allow me to do what I do as often as I do it, so big shout out to all my subscribers. You can also support my content by supporting my sponsors, mtgotraders.com. Would love to buy and sell Magic Online cards with you. Use code Hoagland PayPal at checkout with them. You'll save 8% on your singles orders there. CoolStuffInc.com buys and sells a lot of cool stuff, including TCG singles. Using promo code Jeff5, you can save 5% on Magic, Pokemon, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards with them. InkedGaming.com would love to help you customize your gaming experience. Using code Jeff12, you can save 12% on custom playmats, mouse pads, binders, and bags with them. And finally, this stream is made possible by Anoronics and viewers like you. Anoronics would like to remind you to hit that follow button if you're enjoying what you see. My stream schedule is a little bit sporadic these days, but usually I'm streaming somewhere between 4 and 7 days a week. And if you're following the channel, you can get notifications on when I go live and with what. We play all constructed Magic here, a lot of Modern, some Legacy. I think we're going to try Pauper on Thursday this week, so if you're into the all commons format, definitely be sure to stop by for our Thursday stream. There's a link down below the stream to my rough schedule. That's not 100% of the streams, but it gives you a rough idea on when I'm going to be alive and when. You can also check out all of my streams. They get archived to my YouTube channel, so because I don't steal other people's music while I'm streaming, none of my VODs get muted, so I cut up all of my VODs by the deck that we're playing and then upload them to youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. So if you miss anything, or you saw my tweet a video and you weren't able to catch it live, and you're like, oh, I really wanted to see that deck, you can go check it out on YouTube after the fact. I used to play Blueback Fairies. It wasn't good. Turn 2 Bitter Blossom is simultaneously necessary to giving the deck a fighting chance. It doesn't really do anything against anything resembling a fast clock. Yeah, I agree. Blueback Fairies is like one of those decks that like people desperately want to be good in Modern, but it's never quite good enough. Yeah, that sand seems good. Yeah, Bloodbraid Elf has felt like a good addition to the format. Both the unbannings have felt like they've been really reasonable additions to the format. Really pretty happy with how the format shaped up. Chalice of the Void for 1. Yep. Okay. Yep. I mean, I guess I don't really give away a ton of information by playing a Marsh Flats out. This looks like the colorless Eldrazi deck that did well at the Classic this past weekend that Davis streamed with this afternoon. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pack it in. I don't think we're too far away and have too many dead cards in our hand here. We're gonna work on lands too, probably. So I want these Lingering Souls. I think I'm gonna cut these Thoughtseizes. We're gonna bring in a couple of things to help us kill their chalices a little bit. I don't think I necessarily want a ton of things. I think to a degree, I'm just gonna cut some of my 1-mana spells just so I could be like impacted less by it. Bring in a couple of Fulminator Mages here. I think I'm just gonna like trim my total 1-mana spells and like bring in an additional Ancient Grudge and additional way. So like I have K commands in the main deck to blow up Chalice, and then we have one more way here out of the sideboard. Fairies is like the deck of Fairies is like the modern deck that you can't unban enough cards to make it good. They unbanned Bitter Blossom. Fairies is finally going to be good in modern. All right, that wasn't enough. We unbanned Ancestral Visions. Fairies is finally going to be good in modern. That really wasn't good enough. We unbanned Jace the Mind Sculptor. Maybe Fairies is finally... Nope, that one didn't do it either. There probably don't exist cards on the current modern ban list that could make Fairies really competitive in modern. If we're all being honest with ourselves. I think Fairies would be good if they unbanned Mental Misstep. Umezawa's Jite. Misstep and Jite. I mean, Spellstutter Sprite's very good if Mental Misstep is legal, right? Like, she can counter Mental Misstep. No, I'm not doing Commander. There's just so many Modern and Legacy decks that I just don't have time to get into another format. If I was going to explore another format, it would probably be Standard, but just Modern's a lot of fun right now. Legacy is what it is, but Modern's pretty great right now, and there's just so many decks. I don't have enough time to play all the Modern decks I want to play, so I don't really want to take decks for other formats. Fulminator's not very good, but it's just like better than our random 1-mana spells. I agree that Fulminator isn't very good, but I also think it's just like better than a lot of our alternatives. This is Domain Zuazintoth. It's like a Domain interactive deck, kind of. Do I need another black source? I really don't, right? So I'll get Sacred Foundry here. So we'll curve Lingering Souls on 2 into Bloodbraid, or Lingering Souls on 3 into Bloodbraid on 4. I understand the children being loud is not ideal. The evening streams have always been quiet, so my afternoon streams 3 to 4 days a week are going to have a sitter around and they'll be quiet, but my random morning streams will still have Declan in the background. When is the next big modern event? The first big modern event is this weekend. We have the Star City Games Open in Dallas, so lots of eyeballs are going to be on that one, I think. The did Jace take the format and crack it asunder? Hint, he probably didn't. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be the first one. First big one for sure. Are there modern decks I don't want to play? Titan, Red-Green Valakut Titan, and Lantern Control are decks that I do not accept as donation deck lists. I am going to Cincinnati. The kids go to prison now. Now, the kids are currently sleeping, and we have enough subscribers on the channel, which is awesome, that I was able to justify hiring a babysitter a few afternoons a week for them so the streams can be a little bit quieter. I want to trade this Wild Nacatl for a Matter Reshaper. I don't think that I do. I think that trade is bad for us. They don't have a play here. That's... Oh, nope. Wait, what? The Valakut Titan deck is just very boring to play, in my opinion. You just don't enjoy playing it. It doesn't generate interesting or stimulating gameplay. Cincinnati's at the very end of this month. It's March 24th. we've not played Ad Nauseam, but we actually had donations to see Ad Nauseam twice. So we're going to see a traditional Ad Nauseam list, and I think we're going to play Glittering Wish Ad Nauseam as well. I'm going to add that now before I forget. Need to find the deck list for that one again. Probably play those tomorrow afternoon to start off the stream. I'm always happy to damage people's cardboard. This is actually kind of a tough choice for my opponent, right? Like, do they take the Path to Exile? Do they take the Bloodbraid Elf that could potentially be another Path to Exile? Hey, J Green 40, sharing that Twitch Prime. Thanks for sending your Amazon Fun money this way this month. I do appreciate that. As always, subscriptions are the best way you can support what I do here. Good evening, Steam Vlogger. Hope everyone's having a great night. They took my Tarmogoyf. Huh. Alright, sure. The attack with the Reshaper is aggressive. Okay, do they have... This must be Smasher, right? This, like... That attack has to mean Reality Smasher. How do I use my Amazon Prime as a free sub? You have to link your Amazon Prime to your Twitch account, and then it will pop up under the subscribe button up top for you. I could flashback Lingering Souls, or I could hold up Atarka's command. I think I just want to flashback Souls. I think we're pretty dead to a Smasher here. Hey, Amos Flynn. With that brand new Twitch Prime support. Thank you very much and welcome. I do appreciate that. What's going on, Anoronics? Howdy, howdy. Catching us towards the middle of the end of this league, and then I think we're gonna run one more back after this. We have a Bloodbraid Shadow deck that we're gonna kick the tires on. Variation of the Traverse Shadow builds from the last Pro Tour. Well, our opponent hasn't windmilled a Reality Smasher yet, so that feels like it bodes well for the home team, but their cat could potentially have just knocked their drink off the keyboard. Justed Buttons with the $60 donation. UWRT. I don't know what UWRTT means. I need a translation, Justin. What does UWRTT mean? Google Translate UWRTT. That Jeskai taking turns? Is that the one you're talking about? Because there is one of those in the... There is a Jeskai taking turns deck in the thing. It's the donation deck. Alright, perfect. I guess we won't be casting Bloodbraids after this. The democracy has spoken. Sounds good. We will take some turns after this league. Will do. I think we finally have to trade for this Reshaper here. Just can't keep taking hits from this. What'd you get? Sure. I'm really glad we have 2 basics left in our deck if they want to get aggressive with their Ghost Quarters. So for those of you that are new to the stream, a lot of the decks we play are viewer submitted or donation deck lists. So people send in donations and they say, hey, this is a deck list I'm working on. Would you please play it on stream? And then other people like Justin, sometimes they see things there that catch their eye and they're like, let's play that sooner. The bigger a donation attached to something, the sooner we get to play it. We play all of them eventually. Bloodbraid into Bolt. You just kill this. This whenever it becomes targeted, it gets exiled, right? Yeah, so it feels bad that I'm giving them another draw here, but... Spirit Guide, gross. Your border should be puppet strings. That's probably not a bad idea, Maddie. your favorite Girl Scout cookie? I'm a peanut butter cookie kind of guy. I'm a big old sucker for peanut butter and chocolate. Reese's peanut butter cups, just all the delish. Yeah, Anoronics, you're always with us in presence because we have your face on the stream and in the chat. Favorite color not magic related? Darker shades of blue. Pieces or cups? I like cups better. Pieces are like an okay substitute, but the cups are preferred. I like the texture of actual peanut butter, and you don't get that with a Reese's piece. I think we're pretty dead here, chat. It's feeling like we're pretty dead. And like, this is actually a neat combo in this deck. So Scavenger Ground exiles all cards from all graveyards. So after we trade with these Eternal Scourges inside of combat, our opponent just gets to use Scavenger Grounds to get them back. Yeah, I think we're pretty dead here. So I get to the 5th match. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Really? They don't contain any actual chocolate. It's interesting. Interesting. That's not something I would have guessed. It's just the letter Q, Anoronics. I didn't know, Justin. I don't have that many badges anywhere. Gosh. A lot of one-landers. Seems very good. Seems very reasonable. Conservative play is to bottom that, right? All right. What you got? Are they just straight green-black? It could be Jund. This could go either way on exactly what they're playing. It's definitely just the Liliana, right? One's gonna be tough to grind through. Hey, Herbivores, with that 3-month Twitch Prime resubscription. Thanks a lot and welcome back. Thanks for sending your Amazon fun money this way again this month. I do appreciate that. All right, so I can kill this with Tribal Flames, right? If I get a dual land, this can get Temple Garden, which will make this a 3/4, but this is a sorcery. So if I fetch Shock, I can Tribal Flames this. My back is still twinging a little bit. I need to invest in a better office chair. The one I have right now is falling apart anyways, and it's very crappy. So I am feeling better than I was this morning, but I am definitely not at 100% yet. Alright, is this just going to be a smack us with Treetop Village? I like this line for my opponent if so. Just like get aggressive, like our health total is low. Draw Liliana, the last hope, vomit. It's kind of interesting that they chose to uptick there. I feel like, I guess they're playing around Lightning Bolt, but if I was my opponent, I feel like I'd want to prioritize just like getting back their Tarmogoyf right away. Yeah, definitely, Anoronics. Will do. I'm gonna put Jeskai Ascendancy back in the queue. It's been a while since we've played that. Haven't really played it post-banning, so make a point to get back to that one. Deck's a lot of fun. To get Jeff a new shirt. Really? They're still just pushing it up. Yeah, I'm looking at a couple people said the gaming chairs, I like they're a lot of people have recommended the brand Herman Miller. So I've heard that name thrown around a lot. I think I actually want to get Steam Vents here, so I have all 5 domain colors. That way, if I rip a Tribal Flames, I can kill my opponent's. Liliana the Last Hope here. You know they have Maelstrom Pulse plus 1 card. Oh, I guess they can Field of Rune me if I tried to do that, right? Or are they Field of Runing me? Sure, I have a basic forest in my deck. To put Randy in the queue twice. What Randy deck do you want in the queue? Which Randy deck do you want in the queue? It really feels bad playing these cards out in the face of Liliana, but I just don't have any other plays here. That's unfortunate. We'll probably lose our... I guess they might take the path here. They're taking the Pyromancer because it'll allow us to pressure the Liliana a little bit. That fucking description, Eneronics. Oh man. AK Racing Pro. Anorax, you should link me what you got on Twitter if you feel like it. I'm perusing all of my options currently. Oh, this is a Maelstrom Pulse, right? Oh, I'm gonna path whichever one they pulse, right? Is that worthwhile? Yeah, I think it's worth pathing here because it's gonna let me pressure this. The chair I currently have was like $80 at Office Depot because Christy just buys things that are cheap. Alright, so this is gonna let me hit her to 2, assuming they don't have a Fatal Push here, which would be... God, we are so good at drawing our 5th, 6th, 7th lands in this deck. I think I'm ideally looking to stay under 500 for a chair, and there seem to be a lot of options for that. The one brand, the Herman Miller brand that people recommended, some of them go up to like $2,000 for a chair, which is just like that's not happening, but I think it's probably worthwhile to spend a couple hundred. Shocked. No, that's probably unbeatable at this point. I guess we could hit Bloodbraid Elf, right? Like every story of how do we get back into this game like begins with drawing Bloodbraid Elf. So we played a variation of this deck with Mantis Rider the other day, and while Mantis Rider itself is powerful, having to fetch blue mana consistently really puts a strain on the deck in terms of like how much damage you're dealing to yourself. Any Randy deck is good. Sounds good, Justin. I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll just put Omnitel back in. I definitely want to cut my discard in this matchup. I don't think this is a Fulminator Mage matchup. I think I just want the reach and the extra Lingering Souls. Like, they're just a 2-color deck, so I don't think Fulminator Mage is likely to cut them off of anything meaningfully. Yeah, the Racer chairs are about in the like 200 to 400 USD range, so those are definitely in my budget. I don't really like Geist in this style of matchup, Griffinson. I like it against decks like Jeskai or Grixis Control, but when our opponent has things like Tarmogoyf and Scavenging Ooze in their deck, Geist becomes a little anemic. It's a little awkward. Mana kind of sucks. I think this is getting Godless Shrine. We would like to get Temple Garden, but that's not an option. Am I getting green black or green red? Probably green black because I already have a red in my hand, right? Like, needs to be a green source, want the most colors possible. Dealer's choice. 3 bolts and a Swiftspear. I'm really not too picky about material. I just want something that's going to help my back. I had a really bad back spasm this morning. Did not feel good. That's probably related to how much time I use in my chair, which actually the standing desk helps with that too a little bit. Definitely been using, I've pretty much used the computer standing all day for all the time I've been at it. Holy crap. Interesting. They just took the reach, so they must have a bunch of removal in their hand. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, if the back doesn't tune up after so fun fact, I actually went to a chiropractor on the regular, it was like 2 years ago, 2.5, and they never recommended that I change my desk chair. And I had a chair that was worse than this chair from Office Max, and as soon as I changed from this Office Max to this Office Max chair from the other one that I had, my back immediately felt better. I can't get to all 5 basic land types here, right? Because I don't have blue-white. So I just want to get Godless Shrine here. No, I want red-white, right? Because I want to cast 2 red spells right now. Yeah, so I'm going to shock for this. I'm going to go ahead and burninate this. And then I'm going to go ahead and send Tribal Flames upstairs. Then I'm going to smash them. I have this path to clear my way as well. So they're down to 13. They're down to 7. This is a different variation of 5-color zoo. Yes, another domain zoo deck. Down to 6. Maelstrom Pulse. It's really slow. It's unfortunate. Yeah, I haven't had back problems for a long time. This morning was kind of sporadic. The first time that's happened in a long while to me. This is a Liliana. Yeah, okay. Well, at least our Tribal Flames are lethal now. We are through 2 of them, which kind of sucks. Do I path this in response here? I'm going to path this in response. Because they're just going to push this up and take the path out of my hand next turn anyways. So, I'm just going to go ahead and get the land out of my deck now. We'll go grab Watery Grave with this. And let's draw Bloodbraid Elf, shall we? Or Tribal Flames, one of the two. Lingering Souls is a good reason to path ourselves. It gives us the 5th land to play this twice. A lot of reasonable pressure on the board. We're at 13, which is not exceedingly high here. They're pushing their Liliana up. That's good for us. So this is 4, plus this is 7, plus maybe 8. So we're not in too danger. We need to dodge like Maelstrom Pulse and some removal. We're definitely just putting them to 1 here. Smack you to 1, turn off your fetch lands. Just a single spirit token is lethal. They have a fatal push. Okay, so they're going to 2. But that means they do need to have a live draw to not die next turn. They can edict us off 1 of these tokens, but the remaining 2 are still lethal. This is cute. They're thinning their deck to try and hit a live one. It technically gives them a clue too, but like they're not going to have enough mana or time to use the clues for those to be relevant, so they're just thinning their deck. Spirit is gone. Alright, as you will. Are you dead? Are you dead? Are you dead? I'm gonna find the attack with all button, I promise. Please be dead. Nope. Alright, I need another live one. They get to draw a few though, right? Get their draw step plus 2 of these to find another fatal push. They have a draw step plus one of these to find a Liliana. I'm playing whatever legacy deck Matt wants me to play. I told Matt I couldn't make an educated or informed decision. All the decks felt bad to me, so if whatever he hands me, that's what we're gonna play. I guess Liliana's not a draw either, because I have this, right? This is 5-color BB Zoo. Isn't the Stream Decker 5-color BB Zoo? Do you? Did I upload the wrong one? Nope, yep, domain Zoo. Man, what a beating. So many live draws. So many live draws. I really think Lands is a terrible legacy deck. I really don't see the appeal of that deck. Every time I sit down to watch, you're not wrong. We are certainly role-playing John Avon very well tonight. Yeah, they could just fire up their Treetop Village here. We're just into removal, actually, right? If they have removal plus activate Treetop Village, we die. Yeah, we got slaughtered, Dan. Just got put firmly in the ground several times over. There's an archive on YouTube. I made a couple of small mistakes, but by and large, we just came up short. Like, got killed by Stormnut draws, and like, we're just a little bit too slow against Delver. I actually would have won my match against Delver if I would have had a, if there had been a Mazavith in my deck, I would have beaten Delver. Alright, so we're gonna crack this fetch here because we need to hit a live one this turn, so might as well thin. I mean, you should probably just cut that friend out of your life, Big Mama Emrakul. It sounds like they're not worth interacting with. Life is a much happier place in my experience if you just like don't interact with people that are that ignorant. God bless, we get a game 3. Finally. We had so many bricks while they drew removal spells there at the end. I don't think Matt would hand me lands. I think he's aware that the deck's not fantastic. I mean, I hate the argument, and okay, we got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes for a Hugel rant. I hate the argument that a deck has results, so that means it's fine. And formats like Legacy and Modern are formats where people constantly play decks that aren't optimal and aren't good in the format because 1, it's a deck that they own and it's expensive to change decks in these formats, and 2, Magic is about having fun, so people play decks that they enjoy playing. People play those decks because they like playing lands. I played Kiki Court for years because I liked playing Kiki Court. It didn't mean the deck was good. I top-8'd a ton of tournaments with that. I made the finals of a over 1,000-person Modern Open with Kiki Court. It didn't mean the deck was good. It meant the deck was reasonable. I ran hot and I played well with it. It didn't mean it was great. It was worse than most of the decks I could have. Splinter Twin was legal for the Open that I made the finals of with Kiki Court. Like that, to give you some context. Magic's a game that's about more than just playing a deck because it's good. People play decks because they enjoy playing them. And Lands isn't a deck that I really like the gameplay of, so I don't think it's worth playing in terms of power level, and I don't think it's particularly interesting, which is a subjective opinion. Both of those are subjective opinions, but the results, and it's really tough to have objective Magic data because Wizards of the Coast kind of goes out of their way to hide a lot of data from us. RNG creates a lot of noise. Yeah. It is. Magic players seem ready and willing to accept that a good player with a good deck can have bad luck and do poorly in a tournament, but they have a hard time accepting the inverse of that. They don't seem to recognize readily that a bad player with a bad deck or a good player with a bad deck can also do well. Yeah, but Dan, to be fair, you're almost certainly an above average Magic player. So like anything you're playing is going to have better results when you're playing against players that are going to be worse than you a lot of the time. It's like Bob Huang recently posted a thing on Facebook talking about like Grixis Delver win rates, and in it, and he was like, well, you should probably realistically take 5 to 10% off all of these percentages I'm telling you that I have, because like I was just beating people that were making mistakes a lot of the time. Alright, so I'm definitely just spending this Tribal Flames to bolt the Scavenging Ooze. And again, there's nothing wrong with playing decks that aren't optimal or fantastic. Like, again, Magic's about more than just playing the best deck. That's why formats like Modern and Legacy are great, because there's lots of room to play decks that aren't the best deck in these formats. Alright, you know... Lingering Soul's going. Yeah, so part of the cost associated with changing decks in a format is often, it's not just the cost of the dollar cost associated with it, it's the cost of the time investment and the familiarity with the deck. Like if you want to change decks, you don't just have to buy the deck, you have to put in the time to become familiar with that new deck too. Oh no, don't take my Lingering Souls. How will I ever win the game now? If they have a 2-drop here, we could be in a little bit of trouble, but if they don't have a 2-drop, this Bloodbraid Elf could just run away with the game very quickly. It's a 2-drop. Ooh, they're cracking a clue. That's good for us. So probably just going to fetch a basic, slam a Bloodbraid Elf. Hopefully Bloodbraid kills this. I think I just don't want to... I think I want to preserve my health total here. Hopefully they're not going to have time to like Field of Ruin us out of this game. All right, it's more damage. This is probably getting Watery Grave, so we can go Path plus flashback some souls next turn. Do I want to flashback both souls is the question, because we do know they have Maelstrom Pulse and Golgari Charm. Fatal push, okay. It's an aggressive attack. I'm definitely flashing back one of these. The question is, do I want to flash back another one? I feel like I don't. I think I want to just path this and hit them for 4. I think I want to play around. And again, this is going to give them an extra land untapped this turn, but I would prefer they have that land that I get an extra point of damage. Yeah, the SCG coverage recently has really been, it's been super ad infested, to be polite. Like, it's not been a good scene. And I really like the SCG, and like their tournaments in terms of like cash value are still very reasonable, but like their ads have been brutal. I guess if they were ooh, they're just beating us down with treetops. I guess we're losing this race, huh? What's going on, Burgle? Yeah, the ads during sideboarding are a little brutal, I agree. Alright, grab a blue source for max Tribal Flames value here. The path's pretty good. The path means that we're not dead to double activate Treetop Village next turn. No, I wanted to play around Golgari Charm and Maelstrom Pulse prototype. I wanted to play around Maelstrom Pulse for a turn. Although I'm going to get Golgari Charmed here and just throw up in my mouth. Oh, this is happening. Huh. Yeah, that's a thing. I'm dumb. They left this back on defense on purpose. Whoops. Okie doke. Mistakes were made. I definitely wasn't thinking about that. I was just expecting them to have a removal spell. Yep. That was a punt on my part. That's interesting. They have Maelstrom Pulse as their last card. One of their last cards. Yeah, feels like it. Alright, BB into Tribal Flames. Yes! Yes! We deserve this! We deserve this! Yes! Yes! Oh. Oh. Sorry, I'm sure that was loud. I'm sure that was loud. I'm sure, I apologize. Magic is a skill game, and the better player always wins. No, do not redirect. We finally used our self-prediction powers for good. We got hosed so many times in this league, and we finally used our powers for self-gain. We finally used our powers for self-gain. Yahtzee! Alright, so this deck list. This deck list was sweet. It felt like this weird combination of like the Tribal Flames deck we played the other day, along with the Pyromancer deck that was submitted the other day. I feel like I just want Death Shadows in this deck. I don't know. I don't know if the Pyromancers are worth it. I kind of feel like we just would rather be a Tribal Flames Death Shadow deck. No, I should not have pathed my opponent's Treetop Village, because then they would have killed us on the backswing with their 2 remaining Treetop Villages. Pathing their Treetop Village would have left us dead on board. Pathing their Treetop Villages would have left us dead on board. So I think if I was going to work on this, I think the changes I would make, yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel like if I just cut these for Death Shadows, do I have enough spells to make Pyromancer worth it? I guess this is a pretty good number of spells. This is a pretty good number of spells. That could potentially be fine. Pretty good number of spells. Yeah, that could be. I definitely want 4 Shadows in here. I think you want a 4th Thoughtseize in the main deck if you're playing the Shadows as well. Honestly, I'm not sure if these Young Pyromancers are worth it. Yeah, you could play Street Wraith in this deck as well. Maybe the Pyromancers just are supposed to be Street Wraith. Like, I could see that. The Lingering Souls were quite excellent. I could see just playing more of those in the main. But yeah, I like the core of this deck a lot. I like the reach, like, Bolts and Tribal Flames were quite excellent, like quality removal in the form of Path to Exile. Honestly, I could even see this deck just going like more base Jund / Lingering Souls too, where instead of these Path to Exiles, we just play Fatal Pushes, because a lot of the creatures that Fatal Push doesn't kill, Tribal Flames will kill, because like we can point Tribal Flames at things like Gurmag Anglers and Tassigurs and stuff like that, right? So, yeah, this deck was sweet. I got hit the 3-2. We lost a close set to Burn. I would definitely play Collective Brutality in my 75 if I was playing this deck again to try and keep up with Burn a little bit. But yeah, neat stuff. Tribal Flames, like, this is a really powerful card, and this is a really powerful card. So, like, finding, like, I think there's money to be made in Modern, finding, like, what are the 67 best cards we can surround these 2 Magic cards with. I think I think that's a question. Like, if you're someone that's looking for a problem to solve in Modern, this is one of the problems you want to be looking to solve. You want to ask yourself, what is the surrounding shell that these two cards get dropped into? And I think playing this kind of helped me get a feel for, like, what are some of the cards around it. It almost certainly involves Tarmogoyf, and like Tarmogoyf, like one of the problems in the deck we played the other day was that Tarmogoyf is bad without discard spells because it's frequently just small. So like Thoughtseize helps mitigate that. So I try it with Death Shadow as well. That being said, we're going to play one more league this evening. If you didn't catch all this league, I'm going to get it uploading to YouTube